If coffee is supposed to make you sharper, why does it sometimes make you feel slower? You sit down to work, you're wired, and yet your brain feels cloudy. You reread the same sentence, you click between tabs, and nothing really lands. That experience is often what people mean by too much caffeine brain fog. It's not that caffeine suddenly stops working. It's that the dose, timing, and your baseline stress and sleep can push the effect past focused into frazzled. And when your system is overstimulated, your thinking can get noisy instead of clear. In this breakdown, you'll learn the common signs, the brain mechanics behind them, and the practical levers that usually matter most without demonizing coffee. Because for many people, the goal isn't quitting. It's getting the benefits back, consistently, with fewer crashes and fewer foggy hours. Moving to slide 2. First, let's define what caffeine brain fog usually feels like. It's not sleepiness. It's more like mental friction. You feel alert, but your working memory is unreliable. You lose your train of thought mid-task. You feel impatient, yet indecisive. You may talk faster, but think less clearly. Another clue is task switching. Overshot caffeine often pushes you towards scanning and reacting instead of deep focus. And then there's the emotional layer, subtle anxiety, irritability, or a sense that everything is urgent. That state burns attention. It also makes mistakes more likely, which creates more stress, which makes you reach for more caffeine. The key point is that brain fog here is often a performance problem, not a motivation problem. Your brain has energy, but it's not being channeled cleanly. Once you can name the pattern, you can start changing the inputs that create it. Moving to slide 3. To understand why this happens, you need the basic job of caffeine in the brain. One big mechanism is adenosine. Adenosine builds up while you're awake and contributes to that sleep pressure feeling. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, so you feel less tired. But blocking tiredness is not the same as creating calm focus. At higher doses, caffeine also increases stimulation through systems tied to alertness and stress response. That can be helpful in the right amount, but when it's too much, the signal-to-noise ratio gets worse. Your brain receives more go signals than it can use effectively. So attention becomes jumpy, and thinking becomes less organized. That's why you can feel wide awake and still not be productive. The caffeine is doing its job, just not the job you wanted. The goal is to hit the dose where alertness rises, but noise doesn't. Moving to slide 4. There's also a classic performance curve that explains a lot. Too little arousal and you're sluggish. Too much and you're scattered. Many people call this the sweet spot. Caffeine can move you up that curve into better focus, but it can also push you over the top, especially if you're already stressed, underslept, or hungry. When you overshoot, your attention narrows in an unhelpful way. You may fixate on the wrong thing or feel like everything is equally important. Planning gets harder, prioritizing gets harder, and creativity can drop because your mind is less flexible. This is why two people can drink the same coffee and get opposite outcomes. It's not just the cup, it's the starting point of your nervous system. If you want consistent results, you manage the whole curve: sleep, stress, food, and timing, not just the caffeine number. Moving to slide 5. Dose is the obvious lever, but it's more nuanced than 1 cup or 3 cups. Caffeine content varies wildly by brew method, bean type, and serving size. A small espresso can be modest, while a large brewed coffee can be a lot. Then there's stacking. Coffee plus an energy drink, plus pre-workout, plus chocolate, plus certain teas. Another dose trap is refills that happen before the previous caffeine peak has settled. Caffeine can take a while to reach peak levels, and it stays in the body for hours. So the second cup can land on top of the first like a wave. For many people, brain fog shows up right after that stacking moment. The practical move is to treat caffeine like a measured tool. Know your typical milligrams, and notice the point where more stops improving output. That point is personal, but it's learnable. Moving to slide 6. Timing is the lever people underestimate most. Caffeine has a half-life that's often several hours, meaning a meaningful chunk can still be active late in the day. If you drink it too late, Sleep quality can drop even if you fall asleep on time. And then the next morning you wake up less restored and need more caffeine to feel normal. That's how the fog cycle starts. There's also timing relative to waking. Right after you wake up, your body is already shifting into alert mode. For some people, slamming caffeine immediately can feel jittery, not focused. A more strategic approach is to place caffeine where you need performance, not where you feel habit, and to protect sleep as the foundation of mental clarity. If you want an easy experiment, keep the dose the same, but move the last caffeine earlier. Many people notice clearer afternoons within days, simply from better sleep depth. Moving to slide 7. Now let's talk about the crash, because many people label the crash as brain fog. After caffeine wears down, adenosine can bind again, and you feel a rebound of tiredness. If you used caffeine to mask sleep debt, that rebound can feel heavy. Blood sugar also plays a role. Coffee on an empty stomach can increase that shaky, unfocused feeling for some people, especially if the rest of the morning is low on protein and fiber. Another factor is dehydration. Caffeine isn't a dramatic dehydrator for most regular users. But if coffee replaces water, you can still end up underhydrated. And mild dehydration can feel like poor concentration and headaches. The fix is rarely more caffeine. It's usually stabilizing the base, a real breakfast if you tolerate it, water alongside coffee, and fewer giant gaps between meals. That turns the crash into a gentle landing instead of a fog wall. Moving to slide 8. Another reason coffee can make you slower is anxiety physiology. Caffeine can amplify the body's stress response. Faster heart rate, shallow breathing, muscle tension. Even if you don't label it anxiety, your brain reads those signals as urgency. Urgency narrows attention. That can be great for simple tasks, but it's bad for complex thinking, writing, and problem solving. You start rushing. You stop checking your work. You avoid the hardest step because it feels uncomfortable. And that avoidance looks like brain fog. One practical skill here is noticing your breathing. If caffeine makes your breathing quick and high in the chest, your focus usually suffers. Pairing caffeine with a short downshift, slower breathing, a brief walk, or a calm start can change the entire effect. The goal is not to suppress energy, it's to keep energy usable. Calm energy is productive. Moving to slide 9. Tolerance is another piece people misunderstand. With regular use, your brain can adapt by changing receptor sensitivity. That can make the same dose feel weaker, so you increase the dose. But tolerance doesn't rise evenly across all effects. You might build tolerance to the wake-up feeling faster than the jitter or sleep disruption. That's a perfect recipe for brain fog. You don't feel energized, but your sleep still takes a hit, and your nervous system still gets pushed. There's also withdrawal. If you're used to caffeine, a missed dose can cause headaches and sluggishness, which makes you think you need more than you actually do. A more stable approach is to aim for the lowest effective dose and keep it consistent. Some people also benefit from occasional lower caffeine days, not as punishment, but as a reset of sensitivity. The goal is predictable focus, not chasing a bigger spike. Moving to slide 10. Genetics and body size also influence how caffeine feels. Some people metabolize caffeine faster, others slower, largely due to differences in liver enzymes. If you're a slower metabolizer, an afternoon coffee can still be active at bedtime, even if you feel fine. Hormones can shift this too, which is one reason caffeine tolerance can change across life stages. Medications and supplements can also interact with caffeine metabolism, so the same drink can suddenly feel stronger. None of this means something is wrong with you. It means your caffeine window is individual. The practical takeaway is to stop copying someone else's routine. Instead, observe your own markers: sleep quality, afternoon focus, irritability, and how long it takes to feel normal after your last cup. If you suspect caffeine is lingering, the simplest test is earlier timing, not higher dose. Your brain fog might be a metabolism mismatch, not a willpower issue. Moving to slide 11. Let's make this practical with a quick self-check. If coffee is making you slower, You'll usually see a pattern in 4 areas. 1. Your sleep quality is worse, even if your sleep duration looks fine. 2. You feel urgent, but not effective, especially on complex tasks. 3. You need more caffeine to reach the same baseline, and the crash feels sharper. 4. Your digestion feels off, like nausea or stomach tightness, especially with empty stomach coffee. If 2 or more of those are true, you don't need a dramatic overhaul. You need a controlled experiment. Change one variable for 3 to 7 days. For example, keep the same morning coffee, but remove the second dose. Or keep the dose, but shift it earlier. Or pair coffee with water and food. The point is to isolate what's driving the fog. Once you find your main trigger, the fix becomes simple and repeatable. Moving to slide 12. Here are levers that tend to work for most people without requiring you to quit coffee. Start with a cap that you can stick to, an amount that improves focus but doesn't create jitters. Then use timing. Place caffeine earlier and avoid topping up out of habit. Next, build a buffer around coffee. Drink water alongside it. If you tolerate food, add something with protein and fiber so your energy curve is smoother. Another lever is switching strength, not switching the ritual. Some people do better with smaller servings, half calf, or a slower sipped coffee instead of a fast hit. And finally, protect the task. If you're doing deep work, reduce extra stimulation for that hour. Fewer notifications, fewer quick checks. Caffeine amplifies your state. If your environment is chaotic, caffeine makes it more chaotic. If your environment is focused, caffeine makes it more focused. You're not just managing coffee, you're managing the whole system. Moving to slide 13. If you want a simple reset, consider a gentle step down instead of going from a lot to 0. For many people, abrupt stopping creates headaches, fatigue, and worse focus for a few days. A step down means you reduce total caffeine gradually, or you replace one serving with a lower caffeine option. The goal is to keep your day functional while you test what your real baseline feels like. During a reset, prioritize sleep and hydration, because those are the 2 things caffeine can hide. Also, watch your expectations. The first day with less caffeine might feel flat, but that doesn't mean you're broken. It often means you're finally feeling the sleep pressure that was already there. After several days, many people notice steadier energy and fewer spikes. And then, when you reintroduce caffeine at a lower dose, it tends to work better. Not stronger, cleaner. Moving to slide 14. Let's wrap this up into a clear mental model. Coffee helps most when it removes a small amount of sleepiness and adds a small amount of drive. Coffee hurts when it becomes a substitute for sleep, a response to stress, or a habit that keeps you in a constant stimulation loop. If you feel wired but foggy, don't assume you need more motivation. Assume you need better calibration. Start with dose and timing. Then check the foundations: sleep quality, food stability, and hydration. If you want one simple rule, it's this: use caffeine to support a focused plan, not to create one. Before your next cup, decide what the cup is for: deep work, a workout, a long drive, or a social moment. If the answer is to feel normal, that's a signal to adjust the system. If this was useful, tap the subscribe button for more clear science-based performance breakdowns. And for a quick check-in, comment A or B. A means coffee usually makes you sharper. B means it often makes you foggier. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Longevity is built daily, not discovered later.